We call it the Madhouse.
Contact already in turn one.
Tonight we explore the history behind this one-of-a-kind track.
The energy, the vibe, you can't create this anywhere else.
What it means to the community,
Man, that's a massive pileup.
its future, and the people behind the madness.
You walk through the gate of this place, you've got a bullseye on your back.
Madness at the Madhouse. A WXII-12 Racing Return Special. Welcome to the historic Bowman Gray Stadium, home of the 2025 Clash. John Johnson alongside Chanel Porter and Kenny Beck. KB, this is a huge opportunity for the Campbell City. It sure is, John. This is the first time in more than 50 years that NASCAR's Top Series has come to Bowman Gray Stadium. Over the next half hour, we're going to look at what exactly makes this place so special and what makes this race so significant.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be looking back at the history of this incredible track while also looking forward to this weekend at the place known best as the Madhouse.
Now, if you're a regular here between April and August, you already know the deal. But NASCAR says fans from 44 different states, 5 countries, and 3 continents will be in town, all for the Clash. And for a lot of those folks, this will be their first in-person Bowman Gray experience. So with that context, we thought we'd start with a little history and perspective on NASCAR's oldest weekly track. Bowman Gray Stadium hosted its first NASCAR race in 1949. Back then, Harry Truman was our 33rd president, and Super Bowl I was almost 20 years away. In the 76 season since, fans have witnessed 1,109 events, most of them as part of the sport's officially sanctioned short track weekly racing series. But for a 14-year stretch starting in 1958, NASCAR came to BGS once, twice, sometimes even 3 times a year for cup races. That's when drivers named White, Wood, Petty, Johnson, Pearson, and Allison, among others, all found their way into victory lane. This track is different than every other one Cup drivers will compete on this season. Aside from being completely flat, it's also just a quarter of a mile. The shortest track on the Cup Series circuit, Martinsville Speedway, is more than twice that long. You'd have to go around Bowman Gray 6 times to equal 1 lap at Charlotte Motor Speedway. As a result, you don't go nearly as fast. The track record for fastest lap at Bowman Gray is about 13 seconds, with an average speed of just under 70 miles an hour. Compare that to Charlotte, where the record is 27 seconds, with an average speed of almost 200 miles an hour. Bowman Gray also gained a good deal of national prominence in 2010 when the History Channel aired a 13-part reality series about the track, the drivers, and the rivalries. It was called Madhouse, and it ran for 1 season.
And John, fans aren't the only ones that got to check out that documentary. The drivers took a shine to it as well.
Yeah, that's right. Some even know this experience of driving on Bowman Gray personally.
Ryan Blaney is one of NASCAR's best drivers. He's also got the hardware to prove it. 13 Cup Series victories, a 2022 All-Star Race win, and a 2023 NASCAR Cup Series championship. But the road to the top didn't happen overnight. In fact, it began at the grassroots level, right in the triad, with Bowman Gray having a particular impact.
I ran there, I ran a Bandolero there when I was probably 10. Back when I ran it, there was no catch fence there, right? So you had people hanging over the barrier, you know, giving you whatever signal they wanted to give you on any given lap. But I remember glancing and seeing these people do it.
Blaney's affinity for the Madhouse isn't strictly related to driving. He's also sat right in these stands on a Saturday night.
I think the last time I was there to watch a race was, gosh, it's been over 10 years. It's like one of those things that's seared into your brain when you just walk in and you see, you know, the racetrack right there and it packed out. And yeah, so it's something you'll never forget.
And also, John, Blaney mentioned to you one of the interesting things just about the weather this weekend. It's definitely going to be a little colder than when he was racing here in the summertime as a kid.
Yeah, he mentioned that getting these tires heated up is going to be a challenge Sunday night. Now, the Wood brothers' introduction to racing began with literally $1 and a dream, and it made them one of the most successful families in NASCAR history.
Saturday night racing at Bowman Gray Stadium is a special event. For many, it's a family tradition, and one that dates back to the mid-1900s.
So this is a car that actually raced at Bowman Gray Stadium in the 1966-67 range.
Wood Brothers Racing is one of NASCAR's most successful race teams. Since debuting in 1953, the team has amassed 100 Cup Series victories, beginning with the founder in Glenwood, to Dan Gurney, to supporting future legends like Dale Jarrett, to the next generations like Josh Berry. At 90 years old, Leonard Wood has seen it all. That's because he was there from the very beginning.
My brothers was big race fans, and they would go watch Curtis Turner run, and they got hooked on racing. There was about 6 of them. I decided I was going to get a race car, and one of them was going to drive it. Well, it wasn't decided who was going to drive it. Well, everybody backed out except Glenn. And Glenn went down to this Morris Speedway with his personal car, and he had a friend who was already doing quite well. He gets out on the track with his personal car and keeps up with him on his race car. So he figured that, if he had a real race car, that he could do pretty well.
With the help of a friend and $50, Glenn purchased the team's first car. However, the dream of being a race legend nearly ended as quickly as it started.
It was in a heat race, and the guy spun out in front of Glenn and had a big old bumper sticking out. Well, when Glenn come by, it hooked Glenn's rear housing and bent the housing. So towing it home, because the housing was bent and the wheel is held on by the axle, it broke the axle, the wheel comes off, jerks the gas spout out, and the housing hits the pavement, sparks flying, caught fire, burned up right in the middle of the road between you and Martinsville.
Unfettered and determined to make that race dream a reality, Glenn fixed the car, and as they say, the rest is history.
So we come back home and cleaned it all up, and first race we ever run was Draper, North Carolina, and we finished third, the very first race we ever run.
Behind the wheel, Glenn would dominate the racetrack with Leonard right by his side. Their partnership would lead to dozens of titles, including 29 wins at Bowman Gray.
4 of his 29 wins at Bowman Gray were in Grand National cars,
which so happens to be Glenn's only Cup Series victories. The love that Glenn had for racing was eventually passed on to his sons. Glenn, his youngest, and Eddie, his oldest, now run Wood Brothers Racing. For Eddie, the visuals and memories of his father racing at Bowman Gray are just as vivid as ever.
And there was steps. They may still be there, they probably are. And it was like ivy. It's kind of haunted-like. It was kind of dark, but it was. You would walk down there and you could look over the fence. You could see the cars, in the pit area. I used to do that, and then they would run you. They'd run you back to the grandstand because you was a kid.
This Sunday, the Wood family returns to the Madhouse once again. Feelings and emotions will flood back at the nostalgia of it all, with NASCAR finally returning to one of its grassroots crown jewels.
I think that's the most remarkable thing about Bowman Gray is nobody has ever messed with it. And, I want to make it better. It was just like it was a Saturday night place to be. And it kind of still is. It's just, I tell people all the time, if you've never been there, I can't explain it to you. It'll change you. It's just, if you've never been to the stadium, you're missing it.
And I tell you what, at 90 years old, Leonard Wood had many more stories just like that, so much so that they all couldn't hit the air. But if you want to see them or hear them all, you can scan this QR code right at the bottom of the screen and visit our YouTube page.
Richard Petty and Richard Childress have a lot in common. They both grew up, live, and work here. They're both in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and they both have fond memories of Bowman Gray Stadium that date back more than 60 years.
It's like going home. This race at Bowman Gray is the beginning of NASCAR Cup racing.
Just walking around the track the other day brought back so many memories of my childhood.
87-year-old NASCAR Hall of Famer Richard Petty, the winningest driver in history, and 79-year-old NASCAR Hall of Famer Richard Childress, whose 6 Cup championships as an owner are the 3rd most all-time, both credit Bowman Gray with fostering their love of racing early in life. August 22, 1958, Petty made just the fourth start of his career at the quarter-mile track in Winston-Salem.
So they put me in this great big Oldsmobile convertible to run Bowman Gray, and I had no idea what was going on, anything. And I think I spent more time in the infield than I did on the racetrack.
His father, Lee Petty, won that day. Richard finished 20th. The King would take the checkered flag at BGS 4 times, though, including once in 1967 to begin a 10-race winning streak, then again in 1969 for the 100th win of his career.
We got very little publicity. They didn't have the TV and the press and stuff that NASCAR has today, so it was just another race. The only thing I really remember was that it was a Myers Brothers memorial, and their 2 wives were there and gave me the trophy.
Long before Richard Childress was a team owner or even a driver, he was a little boy visiting the stadium for the very first time.
My stepdad took us to a race, and we just fell in love with it, watching them and seeing these kids selling peanuts and popcorn. So we asked him if we could come back next week. He said, yeah, but y'all gonna have to walk over there. That was the first time I had been introduced to any type of racing.
Soon he went from concession worker to driver, scraping together $20 with a friend to buy his first car.
I've had a lot of great things to happen in my life, and a lot of it started with that old $20 race car and selling those peanuts and popcorn.
Richard Petty and Richard Childress, their triad racing royalty. They're thrilled to have the Cup Series back and proud to see their track continue to thrive.
There hasn't been a day since they announced it that I can even recall that someone, a fan or a customer at the winery or someone hadn't said, boy, we're glad to see you back at Bowman Gray Stadium, or that's going to be a madhouse, isn't it?
We grew up with Bowman Gray, or Bowman Gray grew up with us. So again, it's like coming home.
Richard Petty told me one more thing he really likes about Bowman Gray is the fact that no matter where you are, you can see all of the action. That's one of the blessings of short track racing. It's a different story, of course, at super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, where something big can happen, and it literally takes place more than 2 miles from your seat.
And there's still so much more to cover at Madness at the Madhouse.
He lives in Davie County and won 10 races in his Cup career, and he'll be on call for this weekend's clash. We'll hear Clint Bowyer's thoughts on the race next.
And as we head to break, how about a little trivia? Which driver has the most Cup Series wins in Bowman Gray history? The answer when we return. We are back. Let's figure out that trivia question. Before the break, we asked which driver has the most Cup Series wins in Bowman Gray history. The answer, Rex White, who found victory lane a whopping 6 times in the track's 29 Cup races. Junior Johnson, Richard Petty, and Glenn Wood are all tied for second place here with 4 victories apiece.
10-time NASCAR Cup Series winner and broadcaster Clint Bowyer says Bowman Gray Stadium is short track racing at its finest. WXII 12 sports reporter Chris Peterson spoke with him about the excitement about bringing this madhouse to the nation.
Love Bowman Gray. Love the Madhouse. Who doesn't love the Madhouse? The entertainment value of this place has always been special.
Former NASCAR driver Clint Bowyer fondly remembers his first experience as a fan at the Madhouse.
A grandma, literally with all of her kids right beside her, showed some displeasure to a driver pulling out there with some gestures by her hands, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
He's also run a few laps at the track while testing the Gen 7 car.
I got in there and made some laps around this place and realized just how small a quarter-mile bull ring really is. I would go ahead and dub this. I don't know if they do, but I'd call this the Widowmaker. You do not want to be right there.
Bowyer says what makes this track so special is how close the fans are to the action. Yeah! Unfortunately, that's what makes it so tricky for the drivers.
You see how wide the track is, how even it is everywhere except over there where those grandstands come right out to the very edge of the wall of the racing surface. No room to get off in turn 4 for the dash to the finish line.
Bowyer joked about whether they'll let the winner do donuts on the football field. Donuts or not, whoever does win will make history.
You know, if you just won this race, the Clash at Bowman Gray, the first one, the inaugural race here in the Cup Series, if you could win this race in front of 17,000 standing room only fans, there's no feeling better than that.
Now Bowyer says this race will be won coming off turn 3.
Now, while the drivers get all the glory, there's an army behind them that makes it happen. They're the unsung heroes of pit row, and one in particular has a special tie to the Triad and Bowman Gray Stadium.
With a screeching halt, the clock starts ticking. The average NASCAR pit stop lasts just under 10.5 seconds. For Josh Thomas and the 3 Cars crew, it's practices like these that separate wins on race days and the thoughts of what could have been.
I've never felt so anxious or nervous, like learning something, jumping out in front of a car going 55 miles an hour with 30 other cars behind it. I would compare us to the NFL kicker, right? You know, he gets his number called and he's got to do his job. He's got to make that field goal, if it's a game-winning field goal or not.
Josh's road to NASCAR is based in athletics. After starting at North Davidson High School in football, Thomas would play collegiately for Winston-Salem State. In fact, his teammates are former college athletes as well, with guys playing football at Bowling Green and West Virginia, just to name a few.
You saw these Jackmen down there. He's a big guy, right? He played football. You got to be able to lift these cars up with one stroke on these jacks. You got to be ready to go and just like that. So, I mean, you got to be explosive. You got to be strong.
But being involved in racing wasn't always what Josh expected in life. At the behest of his childhood friend's father and needing a job after college, Thomas eventually found his calling.
Never been to a NASCAR race growing up. Kind of never watched it until I got into it. I grew up with Austin, and then we played pickup basketball together. Played pickup basketball for a while, and then finally his dad told me, come try out this sport and learn it and hopefully make a career out of it.
That convincing has led Thomas on a journey that has taken him from Truck Series champion to a record-setting team with Austin Dillon. It also brought him back to his alma mater, where on Sunday he'll be back in the stadium where he played college football. This time, instead of catching passes, he's hoping to help Dillon pass opponents.
The people there are unbeatable, man. You see NASCAR fans, and I swear they're the best fans ever, but you go to Bowman Gray on a Saturday night, man, it's something you've never seen before. So I think it's going to be even more wild to see that whole stadium packed.
Now, Austin Dillon isn't the only famous friend of Josh Thomas. In fact, he's good friends with Shy Tuttle of the Carolina Panthers.
And coming up next, meet some of the women who help the madness and the magic come right here to Bowman Gray every week.
But first, KB, how about a little more trivia for the fans?
I've got another one. You ready for this? Tell us who won the very first Cup Series race here at Bowman Gray Stadium and who won the last. We'll have that answer next. This is Madness at the Madhouse, a WXII 12 Racing Returns special. Trivia time. Before the break, we asked who won the first and last Cup Series races here in track history. Bob Wellborn won the first one. That was almost 67 years ago, May 24th, 1958. Bobby Allison won the last Cup race here. That was in August of 1971.
Now, every Saturday, fans come to Bowman Gray to see the racing, but Chanel, it's so much more than just the racing here.
Yeah, from watching their husbands, sons, daughters all compete out here on the track, the women of Bowman Gray are really doing everything behind the scenes that keeps those drivers up and running. Before drivers hit the track on Saturday evenings, the women of Bowman Gray spend the morning providing some pre-race fuel.
We provide drinks and breakfast a lot of times for the drivers, and just strictly donations. They will donate money to us, and we raise money for the annual Drivers Award Banquet each year.
The Bowman Gray Racing Ladies Auxiliary has been up and running since 1982. The group now made up of 20 active members, all with the purpose of supporting the drivers and bringing them together with the community of the Triad.
We're always there, not just for the drivers, but as a unity to kind of come together as one. We're all friends, really extended families. When anyone's sick or anything, we're there to support one another. So it's really helped me grow personally, and it's really benefited us all as a family to help.
Michelle Clifton became the president of the Ladies Auxiliary in 1988. At the same time, her husband Ronnie became a full-time racer at Bowman Gray, where he went on to win 8 sportsman championships. Although the ladies at Bowman Gray may be rivals on the racetrack, the family aspect that is Bowman Gray is what continues to make this place and this group so special.
You know everybody. So if you'll look around the room here, my husband has raced with competitors, but yet he has, trophies from them of appreciation for them working on their cars. I mean, he's helped fellow competitors win championships. So it's just a big family.
Many families in the Triad are just like the Cliftons, spending hours upon hours at the track. And they would be the first to tell you, racing is in their blood.
My kids have grown up there. My husband started racing when I was expecting my first child, which is now 36.
As a wife and a mother, Michelle has spent her fair share of days in Victory Lane. But more importantly, as the leader of the Bowman Gray Ladies, she looks forward to this next chapter in teaming up with NASCAR.
Austin Shuford, who is the general manager at Bowman Gray, he's been great to work with us. He's actually going to attend our meeting next month to talk about how we can partner going forward and things that we can do to make sure that we're continuing to provide the support that we have always provided.
While new members are always coming and going, there's actually 7 women who have been in that group for over 20 years, including one that was in the original group back in 1982. That's actually 10 years after the last time NASCAR was here at Bowman Gray.
Now, as we close out the show, we've got to do it in the most fitting of ways. Viewers of the Triad of WXII know this person by the voice.
WXII, 12 Sports. I think that's how I do it, right? Is that how I do it?
Yes, Jeff. That's exactly how you do it.
It's the sportsman.
Jeff Amernick
it's our
is
closest
a photojournalist for
battle.
WXII. But to the good folks of the Triad, he is the voice of Bowman Gray.
And Fleming gets a Speeny Brother crunch in retaliation.
For nearly 30 years, Jeff has spent his Saturday nights filming the madness, then producing must-see TV at 11 o'clock.
It was April or May of 1996. I had just gotten here, and Dave Gordon, the sports guy, said, you can go to Bowman Gray and get the modified race. It should be about 8:30 tonight. So I went over there and shot my first race.
And while his filming might be the best in the Triad, folks all clamor for his signature catchphrase.
At Bowman Gray Stadium, Jeff Amernick, WXII, 12 Sports.
As time went on, I just decided to make it longer and longer and longer and longer, kind of as a joke.
The story took a little arm twisting. Don't fret, because for the foreseeable future, Jeff will be right at the track delivering highlights on a Saturday night.
Celebration for Zach Orr, his first ever Bowman Gray sportsman title.
We know Jeff will be front and center, thrilled to be a part of it. Now, the weekend of action begins Saturday at 11:15 in the morning with the Modifieds Cookout Madhouse Classic practice. That's followed by race qualifying at noon before drivers take the green at 1:45. Later in the evening on Saturday, Cup Series practice and qualifying for Sunday's clash at Bowman Gray. Qualifying will consist of 4 25-lap heat races, with the top 5 from each heat advancing through to the clash. Those who fall outside the top 5 will get one last chance on Sunday.
And speaking of Sunday, gates open to Bowman Gray Stadium beginning at 4. The first on-track action begins at 6 with the last chance qualifier. Then only 2 top drivers from the 75-lapper will advance to the nightcap, with green flag action to the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray set for 8 o'clock.
All right, guys, and we'll make it quick. Who do you think's coming away with the checkered flag come Sunday night?
I'm going to go Chase Elliott. I interviewed him here back when he was a teenager. He happened to be getting in some work here for a much lower level. I think it would be a neat full circle moment to see him end up in victory lane at the top level back at Bowman Gray Stadium.
And I'm going to stick with the full circle moments. Ryan Blaney, coming back to his home roots and showing the fans what they want to see.
You know what? I'll stick with Kyle Larson. He seems to win everywhere, and he's pretty good on these short tracks. I think I'm betting on the favorite here for this one. That'll do it for Madness at the Madhouse. We thank you for joining us. Enjoy all the racing this weekend.